So today we're going to be doing something a little different on the channel. So I have a sketch that I've completed here. The picture that I used for this, I got it off of unsplash.com, and I'll put the picture on the screen right now. If you would like to download this same picture so you to try this drawing out yourself, I will put it over on the Patreon. You can go check that out and download it for yourself. So what I'm going to be using is a Pilot Kakuno fountain pen for my line art. Alright, it's going to be done very loosely. I'm not going to worry about mistakes or anything like that. And it's going to be kind of a two-part video. So this is what I've got, so we're just going to go off of this and try to put in some lines. Alright, so I think I'll start up here. I've got some grass and stuff coming off the balcony, so maybe I'll do that first. So we're just going to do some round sketchy shapes to look like a plant is hanging down over that. We'll put in some little leaves and stuff like that, little dots here and there. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, and then we're going to do this pole right here that's holding up the awning. And here's what I mean by very loose sketch. Alright, I'm not going to try to make it perfect or anything like that, but we're just going to make it very interesting. Just like that. So even if we have lines that don't match up, it's fine. That's kind of what I'm going to go for here. Alright, and then maybe have this board going across here. So this is going to kind of come into that board right there. And then come across just like that. Alright, and this here is supposed to be attached to it, so we'll maybe make it come out here on the bottom. Alright, and I want to leave some room for this board. So let's do this board here next. And it's a little thicker than what I really want it, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Line going up to there. That's good. Another thing that makes it interesting is I've got the perspective fairly accurate, but when you go outside your perspective and make it like maybe in the top we made it much wider than we did here at the bottom, it gives it some character and it makes it a little bit more visually interesting to take a look at. So don't be afraid to do that too. Alright, we're going to bring this board down. Take this board down to here. We're going to stop right there so we can connect it like we did that one. So here we go. I'm going to stop it before I get there. And then let's go up with this one. Of course, I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. I made it too fat. And then we're going to connect it over there. There we go. Alright, and then let's continue this over to that last board there. Okay, we can take this one and we can continue it all the way over. Stop before the plants. Alright, let's put these plants in right here. I'm just going to wiggle my pen. I find them very accurate, which I kind of like, so I'm going to be like experimenting some more with some more fountain pens coming up in the future. And I'm going to put this plant in here too while we're on the plants. Fill them up with your own different kinds of inks, different colors, whatever. Alright, I like that. Okay, so let's, I guess, do this bottom rail now. So this is going to be like a hand hold, and this is going to meet up with it. Just like that. And I think this is going to continue all the way down. So we'll have it go down. And then we'll continue the railing over here without worrying about anything else. continue it. And that's good. Alright, so we got that top part done. What next? Let's go ahead and I guess we'll put these windows in here. So we're gonna have a window. Here. Then another window is gonna go right here. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and maybe do this roof or this awning. So I'm gonna come out to about right there. And this should all be connected right there. Alright, and we're just gonna wiggle this line. It's not corrugated tin or anything like that. This looks like it was very tedious to build. So they're all gonna be doubled. Like you can actually see a board. Let me finish this part right here. Alright, and then we're gonna have this board come all the way through to there. Maybe I should go ahead and put this one in now. So we can mark it off where we're at. Alright, and then I'll continue it on this side. There we go. I think that gives the illusion of what we were going for. Alright, and let me see. I guess we'll do the bottom of the balcony now. So we have a board that will be going across like that. And all the way up to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this line next. Leave a gap for that board there. Okay, and then they're going to have these little support boards that are going to be attached. Okay, and then we will continue this one, just like that. All right, I like it. All right, and then we're gonna have the railings or the little posts that go between the handhold and the floorboard here, so little people can't fall off. So those are gonna be kind of very close together. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to separate these or not, or we'll just have. I guess I will, to show space between them. Alright, I think that's it. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let's get this building. I'm not going to detail this other part over here. It's just going to be kind of hinting at there's another structure coming off to the side of here. We'll wiggle that line and then maybe we'll put some boards in. Alright, that's good. Let's do this part over here. The top of the building continuing out over there. And then I'm going to have a window right there. Okay. Have that one going off that way. Then this building. Have it going off that way. It looks like there's some kind of little sign right here. there. Now this side we're going to be able to see kind of inside that ledge right there. This is going to kind of disappear into the door. Like that. And that. Alright, and then the door is going to have a line going across there, and then we're going to have this kind of wood shapes. Kind of like that. And then, I don't know what this is, but something part of the building maybe. Maybe a mailbox? Possibly. So we have this. Go up to about right there. And then on the inside here is where we're going to be able to see that inside. And then it's gonna kind of disappear into the arch, and then we'll continue that. This door is gonna have a board going across there, and then with the wood lines. There we go. Alright, I think we're almost done with our sketch here. So I'm going to put like a kind of a sidewalk here that comes down to here and then maybe over to there. So we're going to let this dry for a while, and then we'll come back and we'll start doing our painting. Okay guys, let's move into the painting process now. So I think I'm going to start off here on the bottom. So you can see that the pen that I use, the Pilot Kakano, is not water resistant or waterproof, so we're having a little bit of ink bleed as I'm getting this wet, but that's okay. We'll try to work that into the painting itself. So I want to kind of do a grayish color, so let's see what we can get. And down here on the sidewalk. And again, I don't care to make it perfect because I think the imperfections is what gives it the character of the painting itself. So for right now, I think that is all I'm going to do, is kind of give a hint of a gray sidewalk down here. Maybe yellow ochreish color. Let me see if I can mix up something to be a little bit more yellow than on the ochreish side. So let's see what we can get out of this. Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of lay some paint down. Yeah, I like that color actually. That's looking good. And I terribly underestimated how much paint I'm gonna need. Again, sticking with what we did with the sketch, we just want this very loose. I might like start painting some of the darker places where this is going to be. So I think kind of like over here. Alright, and then maybe down here towards the bottom. And that's kind of lightening it up too, actually, so that's good. I was watching a video by someone else doing watercoloring yesterday, and they kind of insisted, not really insisted, but recommended that you use the largest brush as you possibly can with getting the effects that you want, because it gives it more, you see more of the strokes and stuff in it, rather than trying to do a fine liner and making it look like a pencil sketch or something like that, or pencil painting, ink pen or something like that. So I took that to heart, and this is not the biggest brush that I have, but it's probably the second biggest. Alright, I like the way it's coming out, actually. I think it's really nice. Just laying down kind of some base coats right now to get what we want. So remember, in painting, we're usually not trying to make very detailed. We're just trying to imply what we're painting. So if the people who are looking at your art can tell what it is, you've achieved what you were setting out to do. Alright, I like that. So let's continue. I think up top it's going to be a little bit lighter, so I am going to add some more yellow, or maybe let's add a little white to it. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go into the top now. Yeah, that's lightened it up some. That's good. I'm not trying to match the colors from the picture. Exactly. So as long as it's close, I will be happy with it. Give some more water. Okay, let's see. Let's do this part over here now. Now I'm going to get up inside of this balcony here. So we're going to start probably layering some more in here, because this is going to be out of the sun, so of course it's going to be a little darker. Right, I think it looks good. We've got kind of the color flats in there now, so I think that's what I might do. I'm not sure. I am not a professional in watercoloring, to say the least, and this is actually my first attempt at watercoloring that I can even remember. I'm sure I did it as a kid, but those memories are gone if I did. Let's see what this color will look like. So I'm just going to do this main railing here, or post. I think it's fine. Alright, and then okay. Add a little bit more pigment to this next one here. Yeah, you can see that the ink is really bleeding now. So I'm gonna have to figure out a remedy for that. I know what the remedy is. I mean, I can use some micro fine liners, which is waterproof. I could go that route, but I really like what I'm trying to say, I really like the loose and the textured effect it makes for using a fountain pen. So I think I want to continue with fountain pens. I just need to find some waterproof ink. Alright, now I'm going to go this board across here. Now it is kind of more of a woodish color. I'm not really getting that effect that I wanted, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. You can see it's a little bit browner. Alright, and then that we're going to go back to our reddish color here. So in between. I'm just going in under this balcony here with this red. Okay, let's do our brownish again. This is so new to me, but I think it's going to help. Because if you've watched my other videos, you know I am kind of a cartoon. I don't want to label myself as a cartoonist, because that's not everything I do. Let's just say I kind of started off that way, taking inspiration from comic books when I was young, and the line art always had to be like pristine, and you kept drawing it and erasing it until you got it just perfect. So for painting, it's a very, very different animal here. And if I was to look at this right now through my cartoonish mind, I would like roll it up into a ball and throw it in the garbage. But we're gonna see what it becomes, because it might, just might, end up being something special. Hopefully. Shadows are. So I see one coming down right here. I'm gonna add some more water to it, and I'm gonna try to darken that up right there. And it looks like there's a kind of a hard line, which I'm okay with. Alright, another shadow coming about right here. And it's going up over the door. All of this part right here is kind of darker. So we're going to try to make it dark towards the top there. And then we're going to try to make it fade into lighter color. Yeah, I think that's good. It's starting to get darker. Might have to put a lot of coats on it. Maybe there's a little shadow right there under that sign. Where else? Maybe right here near the door. Right there, and maybe thin that out some. A little water. here too. And then under this awning here, definitely going to be darker. I think this is the part that's going to either make it look good or make it remain looking bad. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm gonna do some darker areas up here because it's gonna be under the awning. So it should be darker, right? It's probably gonna be darker. Yeah, I think those shadows are starting to make it come out. So I thought that would probably happen. So I got a lot of bleeding going on, but we're gonna fix that in the future, going forward with trying to find. So the fountain pen that I have, it runs off of cartridges, but they do have a converter for it. And what a converter is basically you're able to fill the converter with regular ink that you buy at the store, and then insert it into your pen as a cartridge. So you fill the cartridge, the converter cartridge, with ink and then put it into the pen. So there's kind of two ways you can do that with the Kakuno. Is you can just buy a new cartridge for it, which is already filled with the ink that you can't choose, because Pilot uses probably their own brand of ink or whatever. And as you can see, it's definitely not waterproof. And then we might come in afterwards with a little different color to kind of change it up. So I'm just going to dab at it here. Alright, I like it. Okay. So we're going to let that dry for right now before we go back over it again. So let's pick another part of the picture to paint in, and I think we're going to do the windows now. So the windows kind of are reflecting the sky in a way, so they're a little blue. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it just like that, and there's going to be a shadow towards the top. So I'm just gonna go into the blue pigment only and try to add in that darker color on top, and then we'll kind of fade it down. Maybe a little bit more. We go back into that just pure blue here. The paper is already wet, so it should spread okay. Blending is so easy compared to doing pencils or something like that. And then maybe we'll get some more of that pure blue and try to darken this up towards the top. Yeah, I like it. So now I just use the straight brown color with a lot of water. So I'm just going to lay down the base coat first, and then we'll worry about the shadows later on. But you can probably imagine that the shadows are going to be towards the left side and get lighter towards the right side. So I like that. I like how that turned out. And this door is going to be exactly like that one. The darker part is going to be on the left side here. I'll have to test that out in the future. Alright, so I'm going to kind of darken up these edges here on the right, the left side. So I'm just adding a little bit more pigment. Just like that. I like how it turned out. Alright, let's see. The arches going over the doors are a white color. So I think the only thing I'm going to do with those is maybe put in some gray for shadowing. Yeah, maybe. We'll just do it really, really light and just kind of hint in some shadows. So maybe like that, and then we'll leave it. And I'm not like holding my brush really close to like get perfect line and stuff. I'm holding it really far up so I can just kind of free flow it. I want this to be very stylized. Alright, so about like that I think is good. And then this over here has a little bit of dirt and stuff on it. Okay, I like how that turned out. Okay, and then this one over here, the inside is going to be darker. A little bit of weathering. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And then for this little box over here, do this kind of bluish, kind of metal. Alright, and then I want this right side to be a little bit darker. So maybe we'll go into it with our gray a little bit too. Yep, just like that, and darken up a little bit. Alright, happy with that. Maybe let's do this sign while we got this same color on our brush here. So I'm going to go into pure red and then dip into the other color that I mixed up for the awning. Let's see what this looks like down here. Yep. Okay, and then we have right here. And then on this other side here too. Okay, let's see what else we need to do. Let's get some of this gray color again and put in these steps. There's like a couple little steps here on the bottom. And then I'm gonna kind of fade it out with water. Kind of like that, okay, and then this other one too. And a couple of steps there. And then we'll kind of fade it out with water. Alright, so I mean this is kind of, we got little small things that we can take care of. Seeing how dry that is. The plants seem to be dry. Like the little signs and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is mix a little white and green together. Yeah, that makes a difference. You just kind of dot in darker places. We're gonna have some shadows under the balcony here, of course. kind of hinted at that already once. And up here for sure. Yeah, I really love how that turned out right there. All right, and let me see. There's gonna be some shadow here. Go back into my brownish. Okay, and then I want to get turn my canvas here, or paper, around the edges of this door here. Maybe it was dirt and haven't been cleaned in a while. Kind of darken it up a bit, and then over on this door, same thing here. I think. Put like a little shadow under the window. And then maybe on this side. So I have a feeling that the sun is coming from the top left. Yep, I like it. Alright, under this, make it a little bit darker. So now what I'm doing is going into these shadowed parts and then just darken them up even more. Yeah, and you can see it just makes things come out. It gives it that more 3D look. I'm going to put a little texture on this doors. Straight up brown, and then we're going to go over these lines. All right, we'll let that dry up a little bit. Just trying to see. With some water. Try to thin that out some. I'm gonna try to pick up some of that. I think I put in a little too much, but the tissue. Alright, and then maybe let's take this line here. Separate that out. And the bottom near the road is going to be darker. Add in a little water here. Alright. And then go over here. Alright guys, I think that's all I'm going to do with it right now. So I'm going to let this dry, and then maybe we'll come back in and add some highlights to it after it's dried. Alright, so guys, this is what we ended up with for our final art piece, I guess you would call it. So the only other thing that I did was I took this zebra. It's a kind of a paint pen, kind of like the Posca markers in a way, but it's more fine tip. Got a couple of sizes, and I just put in some highlights. And then I also took this Tombow brush pen, which is black, and I went in and did some darker parts on the shadows and stuff like that. But I think it turned out really well for my first try. I want to experiment more in the future about this kind of art and art style. I'd like to know your opinions on it, if this is something that you would like to see more of, or would you rather see the stuff that I usually do, the Procreate tutorials and the Procreate Dreams tutorials. So leave it in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a long one, but you know, for the people who are really interested and serious about their art, I think it's not too long. So for the people who are just looking for some entertainment, probably they're not going to stick around and watch too long, but I'm hoping to create a community of people who are really interested in art and wanting to improve. So having said that, I will sign off for now and want to thank everybody for joining me on this video. If you have not subscribed, please do so. If you would like to get the picture that I used for this art piece, you could go over to the Patreon and pick that up. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Take care and thank you.